guys, welcome back to Wrestling World. Today we have a handful of great topics to discuss, including Charlotte's return to social media with her big news, and what seems to be the confirmation of a hair versus hair between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Starting off with Charlotte Flair, Charlotte's situation is still the same way it was before, extremely hard to follow and a lot of conflicting reports about her WWE return. But Charlotte did return to social media following her surgery, and there's been a lot of news about what she's been up to. So, when Charlotte was first written off of television, Ric Flair hopped on an interview a few days later and really hinted that Charlotte may be gone for a long time. Ric Flair had mentioned that he wants to see other WWE women step up and prove themselves now that Charlotte isn't there. But the more important thing that Ric mentioned was basically confirmed, was the fact that Charlotte was in talks with a big television company and starring in a TV show. We talked about that news when it first came out, and I said that if it was true, then Charlotte really will be missing for a long time, because a lead role in a television show is extremely time consuming, and she won't have any time at all for WWE. Charlotte then had an interview herself a few days later, and said that she'll only be out for a few weeks. That's when the confusion started to grow. No one knew what to believe. Do we believe Ric Flair, that made it sound like she'll be out for a long time? Or do we believe Charlotte, who's saying she'll only be out for a few weeks? Well, the latest update to the story is that the television show seems to be legitimate. Rumor is that Ric Flair was telling the truth. Charlotte is reportedly in talks with a major television network about this television show. Still no word on who the actual network is, but the rumor is that it's one of the top tier networks. It was first being reported that it will be a reality show starring Charlotte, but now it looks like it's leaning towards being a more scripted show. There's still no word on what the show is and what it will be about. Will it follow Charlotte's day-to-day life? I'm not too sure about that theory, and I really doubt it. If Charlotte is going to have a camera crew following her around all this time away, it likely would have been a WWE Network documentary or something like that. I don't think a day in the life sort of program is the show's concept here at all. The fact that there's rumors about it being a scripted show leads me to believe that it will have nothing to do with Charlotte's personal life. But I could be wrong. We just don't know much about the show at this current time. It seems that the show is really getting prepared, and the reports claim that filming could start any day now. Charlotte did have a successful surgery and is currently in the very early stages of her recovery. Charlotte is able to do all her normal activities following the surgery, except for any extreme physical activity, obviously. So wrestling is off the table for a while for Charlotte, but the surgery can't stop her from acting. So that's why it seems like this television show is the perfect move for her right now. WWE superstars are obviously professional wrestlers, but being in the WWE also teaches you a few things about acting as well. You're playing a character on WWE programming, so a lot of superstars take that basic knowledge of playing their character on WWE television and use those skills to land an acting role. It seems that's what's going on here with Charlotte. She's been acting on WWE television for years now, so she's ready to take those talents into a television show. I'll definitely check it out if this does in fact turn out to be true. I love seeing WWE superstars playing different characters and doing different projects, so it'll be interesting to see. Charlotte also made headlines after she joined the growing list of WWE superstars on Cameo. WWE superstars usually make headlines with their Cameo pages because of their extremely high prices, but Charlotte made the headlines for the opposite reason. Charlotte was surprisingly one of the cheapest WWE superstars on Cameo. Charlotte's starting price is $250. Don't get me wrong, that's still a lot of money, but compared to Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks, who sit around the $400 mark, Charlotte is charging much less than they are. Real quick, if you enjoy what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. A large amount of our viewers still aren't subscribed, so if you enjoy what you see, hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified about all the new daily videos. So this next story is quite interesting because it's something we discussed, but I still didn't see it coming, and that is, of course, the Mandy Rose vs. Sonya Deville hair vs. hair match. We were just talking about this rumor the other day in a video. The rumor said that a hair vs. hair match was one of the talked about stipulations for Mandy Rose vs. Sonya Deville. But the WWE decided not to go with that stipulation. I discussed how I actually think that would have been a brilliant idea, because you can have Sonya Deville lose the match, go bald, and really transition into her new Daddy Deville persona. Well, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville recently returned to SmackDown for the first time since June, and they picked up right where they left off. Sonya Deville attacked Mandy Rose backstage, and it should have been something that all of you noticed right away, especially those of you who saw that video where we discussed the hair versus hair rumor. But Sonya Deville really focuses her attention on messing up Mandy's appearance. Sonya throws her to the floor, messes up her makeup, and the biggest hint of all, Sonya cuts off some of Mandy's hair before getting pulled away. Obviously, Mandy's real hair wasn't damaged in this segment. Sonya probably cut the hair extensions to make it look real. But it obviously tells us where we're going next with this story, and that seems to be the hair versus hair match. The rumors were actually true. The hair versus hair match hasn't been actually confirmed at the time of this recording, but I mean, if that isn't build up for a hair versus hair match, then I don't know what is. So if this hair versus hair match between Mandy and Sonya is in fact on, then I'm bringing my theory into this match. I would like to see Sonya Deville still lose the match so that she can still go into that whole new character and persona with her new unique look. We don't have a fully bald women's wrestler on the roster, so I think it would really make Sonya stand out and be unique. Like I mentioned in the first video about this rumor, I don't really see the benefits of Mandy Rose going bald. I don't really see how that will change her. But I think a lot can come from Sonya going bald. Maybe you really take a crazy route for Sonya's character. Maybe she wins the match, shaves Mandy's head, and then shaves her own head right after. Maybe something crazy like that. But I'm still going with Sonya Deville to be the bald one because I think it'll elevate her character a lot. Sonya's work this year has been something else. She's really stepped it up. She has all this charisma and it just feels so natural when she's on screen. I'm getting a stalker, crazy sort of feel from her character right now. And I'm absolutely loving it. She's obsessed with ruining Mandy's career and has obviously taken things to new levels after cutting off her hair. So things seem to be picking up with this story. I also recommend following Sonya Deville on Twitter because she continues the story through her tweets as well. Sonya had a lot to say on Twitter over the weekend and mentioned how she already has her eyes on the SmackDown Women's Championship. I really like that idea because Bayley hasn't had a fresh new challenger in a long time, so Sonya Deville would be a great opponent for her. But here's what Sonya had to say via Twitter. Mandy Rose, silent on social media. She must really be upset. No energy for self-absorbed selfies. Fashion Nova gonna be upset. Hashtag no hair Mandy. Bayley responded asking Sonya what's wrong with short hair. And that's when Sonya responded with this. I'm coming your way when I'm done with Blondie, not to worry. So, a lot to look forward here with this story between Mandy and Sonya. But what are your thoughts on today's wrestling news? How do you feel about Charlotte getting her own TV show? And what are your thoughts on this apparent build-up towards Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville hair versus hair match? Leave your comments, don't forget to subscribe, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.